have inflicted a political setback on their leader of nearly 30 years. Initial results show that the ruling Democratic Party of Socialists losing support to the main opposition coalition. If President Đukanović is forced from power, the small Balkan nation could turn away from the European Union towards Serbia and Russia instead. Lucia Riera reports.
It's a big blow for the ruling pro-Western Democratic Party of Socialists in Montenegro. For the first time in 3 decades, President Milo Đukanović's party could lose power. Despite having 33% of the votes, as against the 35% of the DPS, according to provisional results, the leader of the pro-Serb and Russian opposition didn't wait to claim victory.
People of Montenegro, freedom has happened. Montenegro is divided all around, and if we don't offer that hand of reconciliation, we'll never offer it. We're offering that hand to you.
The tight contest gives the opposition a bigger chance to form a coalition, but Đukanović preferred to wait for the final count and said he will unconditionally respect the outcome.
At this moment, what is clear is that together with our traditional coalition partners, we have 40 mandates. The fight for the majority of lawmakers in the Montenegrin parliament is still ongoing.
After the polls closed, dozens of supporters of the pro-Russia Democratic Front party went to the streets to celebrate a self-declared victory that could see a change in the course of the small Balkan state. A member of NATO since 2017, Montenegro aspires to join the European Union around 2025. Lucia Riera for Euronews.
Well, let's go to Podgorica. Our reporter Jorgen Samso is on the scene there for us. Morning to you. There were a lot of people we've just seen celebrating in the streets last night. Just tell us, as those results are looming, we've had this sort of initial preliminary ones, what is the mood like amongst the population today?
Good morning, Rosie. Yeah, it's true. There was actually, you could say that both sides are celebrating. We saw here that the pro-Serbian, pro-Russian opposition coalition is on the streets celebrating, waving Serbian flags in front of the church, which has been supporting this this coalition, this opposition coalition. And on the other hand, you also see the ruling Democratic Party of Socialists also claiming that they have about 40 mandates, which is just under half. There was 81 seats in the Montenegrin parliament, so they just need one more actually to have a majority. But there is victory on both sides, and it is a razor-thin margin that both these sides, both camps have to deal with. So now it's up to we're going to have negotiations about how to form a government, and we have to count the last votes to see if that razor-thin margin can move to either of the sides of the camps.
I mean, it's a complicated picture because you're saying both sides are celebrating, and they do have things to celebrate. The ruling party has won, that's what some official results are saying, but the opposition could clinch it now with a coalition. So when will we have a little bit more clarity?
I think this coming week we'll see a lot of talk and a lot of negotiation back and forth. The ruling party, the DPS, with Milo Đukanović, the president, who will still be president after this was a parliamentary election. So they will rely on their traditional allies, but while in the opposition camp there is a bit of the whole. If you see the opposition as a whole, they have a majority, but the question is whether they can negotiate or they can cooperate in forming a new government. But that is the main question. There's a small party which could be tipping the scale, but the question is whether that party, the small green party called URA, will be able to form a coalition with pro-Serbian opposition parties. That, I think, is one of the biggest questions, if they can come together, the opposition, and then perhaps end what is now more than 3 decades rule of the DPS, the Democratic Party of Socialists, and the sitting president Milo Đukanović.
Thank you very much, Jorgen Samso in Podgorica, and apologies there for just a brief interruption in connection. Thank you very much, Jorgen.